He let you know who was who and what was
Right,
what.
right.
Okay.
And that's the part that's what I wanted the grands and the children to hear. Okay, your story is vitally important.
Uh,
Okay, because we didn't even know he was running around with that bull all them hours trying to
it
catch
was
that.
like, and I told him, "Man, why didn't he call us?" He said,
Mm-hmm.
"Well, you know, Sam. We figured he tried to catch the bull the day before,
Mm-hmm.
but he couldn't do it because the bull was wild. He was a
Mm-hmm.
baby.
Mm-hmm.
He was a young calf, young
Mm-hmm.
bull, and that was Daddy's last cow. But
Mm-hmm.
he still had a lot of hogs because I
Cause
had,
I had to slop them hogs all the
but he had
time.
a lot of hogs. Him and Willie,
Mm-hmm.
and then John. But okay, when Daddy died, I mean, Willie was helping Daddy with all
All
this
the time with
all
them
the time. He was
hogs.
over there every day
Yes.
helping and doing this and stuff like that. But you know, Daddy,
And he
my
and
involvement with Daddy Mary was
the vegetable truck.
well, not the vegetable truck. No, Daddy worked on all. Daddy
He
was
did a
an excellent
lot.
mechanic. Now,
Yes.
Daddy was a heck of a mechanic. He
Yes.
could fix anything. And
Mm-hmm.
I had about 5 pickup trucks over Daddy house.
Mm-hmm.
But I would go buy them and take them over. I'll have Daddy had a record. People don't know Daddy had a record.
I do.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'll get his record, go pull the trucks to his house, and he would fix them. He would
Mm-hmm.
call me and say, "Boy, that truck fixed. I don't fix that truck. Wasn't nothing wrong. Tell me what was wrong with it." And I said, "Well, how much owe it?" "Oh, I was just tinkling around with it."
and
But
and when him and mother separated, uh, he had to get a public job, and Alan gave him a job at
I
Propac.
remember when Daddy
And
was doing
I
the
couldn't
janitor
believe,
job.
yes,
He
and
was
I could
working at
not
night. But that was something
believe
Daddy wanted to do.
he wanted to do it.
He didn't want to
Yes,
just be inactive.
he wanted to,
And
and that's
I,
why I said he loved his mother did. They love their son-in-laws and their
but
daughter-in-laws.
Daddy, I used to go there. Now Barbara and Daddy, he just loved to mess with my wife, Barbara. He would tease Barbara. His purpose was to get her upset and make her start crying. But he was telling the truth on me by running around with all them women. He would tell her the boy just brought a woman over here the other night. He thought I didn't see him. I didn't look at him. She always figured Daddy was lying, was teasing her. And she just gets so mad, but we would go, he knew. We would go to Dad's house every Sunday. He would look for us. He knew my children, and he knew all his grandkids.
He knew all of his
He
grandkids.
knew every one of them. He
And
know
cause
who your dad and mama were. He knew all his grandkids.
but
Only
I
reason
was
he
the
didn't
only
build
one that he came and got funds from the hospital. I figured I was kind of special. Uh, I don't know why Daddy wouldn't let nobody be around me, but
but
he went and got funds from Northside Hospital, and he brought funds home. And he told me that I had to live with my husband. I couldn't live with him. Okay, because all of us would have lived with Daddy if we could have lived with Daddy. And he brought funds to Mableton Parkway. And Daddy wasn't no dumb man,
no.
not our Daddy.
But Daddy, every one of my kids was ever born. Daddy always came to the hospital. He was
Right.
always gonna bring you some apples,
Mm-hmm.
oranges, or bananas, or
Something.
something he was gonna bring. And I'll never will forget this about who was born. Was it Darryl? One of my kids, Barbara, had at Northside. And I was driving trucks. Daddy went to see them before I did. He called,
Mm-hmm.
"Boy, Why you ain't went up to that hospital and see that girl? You don't know that she got done had that baby and stuff? I done already been up there.
He came to Northside with
He
me.
would go see them.
He
was coming
did.
to them hospitals.
And
I said, well, how he know how to get up there?
and they said that Fonz was dead. They said that Fonz was, and you know, I didn't know nothing about liquor and all that stuff. And they had to give me alcohol or something to slow the birth down and slow the delivery down. Daddy sat at that bed with me.
But that was just Daddy.
That was him. And he told me what was going to happen to me. He said, you're not going to know what's going on with you. And I was so drunk.
But
whatever they gave me,
put down in any history, Daddy called every one of his children every day. He called every week.
He did. Yes, he did.
He would call me, Ro. He would never say Ro. He said, boy. He would ask you what you doing, how you doing, and he would say, have you talked to Sam? Have you talked to Grady? Have you talked to your sister? Have you talked to this one? He wanted us to stay to communicate, but he was gonna call.
Yeah.
And that's something I do all the time. Maybe I do not miss calling my kids. I said, Daddy said,
call.
Family. He would get on me. I said, well, I ain't talked to Grady in a week or so. Why? Why are you mad? Y'all need to talk. Let's see what's wrong. And I asked him one day, I said, Daddy, I went over to the house, because I'm going to ask you. I said, I want to know why you and Mus separated. What happened? And then I'm going to tell you exactly what his word said. He said, you love your mama? I said, yeah, I love Mus. He said, you love me? I said, yeah, I love you. He said, well, let's leave that alone.
All right.
That was the end of that.
They didn't talk.
He didn't never tell me what who. He said, you love your mama? I said, yeah. He said, you do for your mama. Yeah. He said, you love me? I said, yeah, I love you. He said, leave that alone. Was it. That's between me and your mama. And I asked Mercy to say the same. She would always say, go ask your dad. And
I believe that way. I don't believe that children shouldn't be into parents' situations.
The day she died or the day he died, they loved each other.
And do you know it would have been over 70 or 80 some years that they was married? I found their marriage certificate. In 1934, they married. In Cobb County, up in Marietta, Georgia.
Right. So,
and I found that marriage certificate, and I have to agree with you on that.
It makes me mad